Quarter past the hour now. All the talk for months has been about battlegrounds, the swing states that will actually decide this election, the usual places like Ohio and Florida and Pennsylvania. So why, with 5 states left in the race, are both campaigns spending energy and money and time in places nobody ever predicted could swing at all? Today, the Wall Street Journal reports that on that side of the campaign strategy, what the paper calls a Hail Mary pass. And the Journal reports it's not just about trying to score an unexpected win, but also trying to get into their opponents' heads. Wall Street Journal's associate editor John Bussey is here. It's an interesting concept. You're just kind of messing with them.
Yeah, but they
on
don't
one level.
Yeah, that's right. On one level, they don't want to spend a lot of their time just doing psyops against their opponent. They're going after votes. So there's a bigger Latino component of the voter base in Arizona than there has been in the past. That's attractive to Hillary Clinton. She sees an opportunity to possibly win Arizona. Harry Truman won Arizona in 1948. Her husband, Bill Clinton, won it in 1996, and that's it. It's gone Republican, all the times before that. So too, Donald Trump sees a lot of workers, white men without college degrees. That's kind of his demographic. That's a sweet spot in Michigan and in Wisconsin. And very interestingly, demographic changes are also affecting this conversation.
Demographic changes in that Latino vote is so important, and this year in those states, it's really grown.
Yeah, that's right. Janet Adamy and Paul Overberg did a piece for the Journal that also looked, Shep, at how the demographics of that Midwest stretch of states, including Michigan and Wisconsin, which traditionally go Democrat, have gone Republican in the past, but it's a little bit more distant past. The demographics have been changing. And where the demographics, the diversification has happened most rapidly, where immigrants from Central America or Latinos from Texas and other places have gone up into these towns to work in factories or to work on farms, that's where Donald Trump is most popular. Where diversity has happened the fastest in the last 15 years that the Census Bureau reports, those counties went to Donald Trump during the primaries. So he's got an in there with white voters who are concerned about this happening too fast and the nature of their towns changing.
I want to look at the electoral map again that we showed earlier. It was in the wall just a moment ago. The electoral, this is by our Brain Room and Decision team, and this is how we call it. The Fox News believes that were the election today, Secretary Clinton would have 287 electoral votes. Donald Trump would have 174. There are 77 toss-ups. So if we just hypothetically, theoretically, give Donald Trump every toss-up electoral vote, Hillary Clinton's the president, unless he flips a blue one or a leaning. So in this one, it's that peachy kind of color, which is ridiculous, and the dark blue color. Those are well, lean dim and solid dim are the blue and the light blue.
Yeah.
So which one of those does he have a shot at? You said Michigan, Wisconsin are places he's working
where
hard.
He's been spending time, but he's also been spending time in Colorado and New Mexico. Hillary Clinton is presumed, and the polls have been showing that she's got a lead, but we know the polls have been tightening. The race has been tightening as lots of things happen. The news cycle happens. Some Republicans kind of coming back to the roost. And he sees an opportunity possibly to get Colorado and New Mexico, though the Clinton camp feels very confident still that they're going to take them. Pennsylvania is much more of a toss-up state than it was just a few weeks ago, where Clinton was leading by large single digits. It's down much closer now. So that's why you see President Obama campaigning hard in places like North Carolina and Florida. They need to keep, or to get those, in the case of Florida, back into the Clinton camp.
The thing is, if he flips both, let's say he flips Minnesota and New Mexico, she still wins.
Yes.
And gets all of the toss-up states. The thing is, though this is tightening and there's a path for Donald Trump, it's narrow and it's overgrown and it's hidden.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
But, we've underestimated this sentiment out in the electorate. And I think, again, this demographic story that Janet Adamy did is a reflection of how fast things have changed in the United States and how sentiment has changed with it.
Yep.
So voters may surprise us in some of these states. The polls, however, should be picking that up, right?
Yep.
And the polls have been indicating which way these states are leaning, and your map reflects that.
The only thing that these polls don't factor in is the difference in the get out the vote between these two candidates on election day. They assume they're the same, and in this election they are not.